Johnson.
Good evening. The U.S. Embassy in Tehran has been invaded and occupied by Iranian students. The Americans inside have been taken prisoner.
On November 4, 1979, hundreds of Iranian school students burst in for a question crowded outside the former U.S. Embassy in Tehran, Iran. 66 Americans were taken hostage and began their 444 days custody. Thousands of the other protesters around the compound responding to a call by the country's new leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, to attack U.S. interests. Within 3 weeks, the hostage takers released several women and African Americans, leaving 53. A Sikh hostage was later released, reducing the number to 52. The immediate cause of this takeover was the anger many Iranians felt over the U.S. President Jimmy Carter allowing the deposed former ruler of Iran, Shah Recep Pahlavi, to enter the U.S. for medical treatment. However, the true cause of this event was a long-standing U.S. support for the Shah's government. The Shah established a very close alliance with the United States. However, the Shah ruled as a dictator. He used his secret police to terrorize his political enemies. After Shah's departure to U.S. in October 1979, the Khamenei returned to take over Iran. He called for anti-American street demonstrations. On November 4, 1979, Iran's student union loyal to Khamenei took place outside the walled compound housing the U.S. Embassy and took 66 American hostage. Immediate official American reactions involved stopping oil exports from Iran, expelling many Iranians living in the U.S., and freezing Iranian government assets and investments.
We're using every available channel to protect the safety of the hostages and to secure their release. Along with the families of the hostages, I have welcomed and I appreciate the restraint that has been shown by Americans during this crisis. We must continue to exhibit such constraint. Despite the intensity of our emotions, the lives of our people in Iran are at stake.
However, all the actions failed, and Americans started to view Jimmy Carter as an ineffective leader, partly to counter the criticism against him, as well to free the hostage. President Carter ordered a military rescue mission codenamed Operation Eagle Claw. The mission was a total and complete failure, resulting in the death of 8 U.S. military personnel. On April 24, 1980, units of the rescue force landed in the Iranian desert to refuel their aircraft before heading to Tehran. A confusing series of events took place at this refueling point, including failed equipment and desert sandstorms which reduced visibility. As a result of these problems, the rescue was called off. During the retreat, one of the helicopters collided with a transport airplane, causing an explosion which killed 8 members of the rescue mission. A second rescue attempt was planned but never implemented, largely due to equipment failure. The hostage crisis ruined President Carter's presidency. The one-year anniversary of the embassy takeover fell on the same day as the U.S. presidential election of 1980. Carter lost that election to former California Governor Ronald Reagan.
I'm very angry that the president of our country would do something so stupid.
On July 27, 1980, the former leader of Iran, the Shah, died. Then in September 1980, President Saddam Hussein of Iraq invaded Iran. These two events led the Iranian government to enter negotiation with the U.S. The negotiations between Iran and US culminated in a deal that released the hostages and the $8 million worth of frozen Iranian assets. Moments after Reagan took the oath of office on January 20, 1981, the hostages were allowed to fly out of Iran after 444 days of captivity.
Our prisoners left Iranian airspace and are now free.